Hi, I'm Nikki from Roller Skate Revival, and today we have a very special day because I'm not doing anything. My friends Jana and Mel are here, and what are you going to show us, Jana?
I'm going to show you how to do a DIY slide block made from a skateboard.
Yay! I'm excited.
Yay!
You grab the skates and I'll grab the tools. Let's go rolling around like a couple of fools. Don't care if we're old, let's start something new. 'Cause we go rolling around, me and you.
So, what gave you the idea to make skateboard slide boards?
Actually, skateboards and roller skates are so closely related. That's why I thought, hey, why don't I make my slides more like a slide on a skateboard, like a board slide? And the only thing that stopped me from that was that I had a big piece of plastic in the middle and I didn't really like it. So I thought, hey, maybe I can do my own sliders made from an old skateboard.
And bring roller skates and skateboards closer together.
Exactly. I mean, perfect. Ebony and ivory or whatever. Due to the fact that skateboards get destroyed a lot of times, there was a lot of skateboards I could use for my project. Because I think usually skateboards, I don't know how long you skateboarders use them, maybe a few months in general. Yeah, not that long.
Depending on how hard you jump and skate.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. And then my boyfriend helped me with creating this slider and that's what I want to show you today. Yeah.
So how do you find the sliding capabilities? Do you like them?
Yeah, I really like it. I think it slides even better than the plastic I used before. I really like the shape. It's not that edgy, but for me it's perfect, especially for sliding on curbs, on ledges. That's what I like, and for this it works really, really good.
She's the ledge queen. You! So Jana, what do we need to build these beautiful sliders?
Okay, I can show you. At first you will need a fan. You can either use a normal fan or a hot air fan.
Like a hairdryer?
Like a hairdryer, yeah. Then you will need the skateboard, obviously. A saw. You can either use a normal saw, but it's easier with this kind of saw.
Jigsaw?
With the jigsaw. So it's easier with the jigsaw. Then you will have to get yourself some paper and a pen to draw how big you want to have the slider. Then you will have to use a sander or normal sanding paper, but it's way easier with a sander. You will need to have this kind of things.
Clamps.
The clamps, yeah. And you will need some hangers. That could be a problem because they are not easy accessible, but you can come up with this kind of things.
Those are the jump bars from my sunlight plates. Drill 2 holes in them.
Yeah, and you will need some glue for wood and screws for screwing the wood plate onto the hanger. The first thing will be removing the grip tape from your skateboard. Usually it's glued to the wood and you may not know how to remove it. That's quite easy. You can just use the normal fan.
Hairdryer.
What is a fan?
A fan is what you wear when it's really hot, and so it makes it cooler.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you can use it. Okay, you can use the normal hairdryer. I'm sorry. Yeah. Okay. Ta-da! So, already done. You should think about keeping the grip tape for sanding later because that's also pretty good sanding paper. Okay, next thing now is to think about the shape you want to have your sliders in. For instance, I used my disco block slider as reference how big my skateboard slider should be. And I just put some paper on here and then I cut out the shape to know how big it should be approximately. That's fine. It doesn't have to be perfectly, just to have approximately size. The next thing is to think about where you want to cut out your slider. I wanted to have a slider that has like a bit round shape, but not that much. So I was thinking about using this concave the skateboards usually have. But usually skateboards don't have the same nose and tail. That's why if you want to have a slider that is perfectly in the same, you would have to use a twin tail board that not a lot of skateboarders skate, or you can sand it at the end. For example, this one is a twin tail board and this one is a classic normal shape board. But the difference between nose and tail is not that much usually with normal skateboards, skateboarder skate. So you could definitely use a normal shape board too. But maybe you should know that there could be some differences.
So this one's deep. Oh yeah, that one's deeper than this one.
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah. Now we are drawing the shape on our concave. I want to have my slider cut out in this part. That's why I should place my paper here somewhere. Like the middle should be somewhere here. And now I have to think about where I want to cut it out. I don't really want to have the edge here. That's why I should put it a bit like there. And then, just draw on the wood. Now the next part isn't that easy because there are these holes for the screws. You don't want to have them on the edge, so it wouldn't be stable. That's why you have to think if you put it a bit more like that or a bit more like that, but so that the hole is in the middle of the slider and not on the edge.
So in total you need 3 pieces of wood for one slide block, right?
I figured out last time that 3 layers are good for the size, because if I would have put 4 layers it would be too high for grinding and that wouldn't be possible for me then. But depending on your skate it could be needed that you need 2 or 4 layers maybe. It depends on the skate and the setup. Yeah, for me 3 are totally fine and they are working well for me. I drew 3 layers now. Here you can see the hole is in the middle and these are gonna be the pieces we will use.
So Jana, we painted our patterns on the boards. What do we do next?
So now we have to cut it. Very scary, but you can do it. Okay, get yourself a very safe setup. Then, we will see.
What about your clamps?
The
clamps that you...
I use them for... maybe I can use them here, yeah. Oh, that's a good idea.
I think that's what they're actually for.
Yeah.
What's the triangle for? Or is that just to make it easier?
Yeah, it's just easier because the edge is so small here. I think it's easier to go in here and not on the other side.
I see.
Good.
So we now have 3 pieces of wood. What do we do with it?
Yeah, so now you can already think about, so this is going to be the shape your slider will have later. You can already think about in what order you want to have them. You should put this one in the middle, obviously, and not on top or on the down part, but more in the middle. So it's supposed to look like that. If there's a bit space here, it's not that bad because you will put the claws on it later and it will stick together anyway.
Clam.
So, clam. Clam, claw.
Claw is like an animal.
So the first thing we want to do now is sanding the pieces, because they will not stick together very good, because they have they are pretty slippy on top. You can use the grip tape for that, or you
Sustainable!
Yeah, that's such a good idea.
Or normal sanding paper. But the grip tape is easy because it's already there and you can just use it. Yeah, just go around like this and clean it a bit until it's not that shiny anymore.
Both sides, right?
Yeah, both sides, but for the part that is supposed to be on the downer edge, you can think about if you want to sand it or not. It's optional. Maybe it slides better if you don't sand it, but it's totally up to you. So the next thing is to glue the parts together. Now we'll think again about the order you want to have the sliders in. So we want to have it like that.
So that the concave one is the one that's going to be at the bottom, or what?
They should be at the same. They should have the same concave, but in general they are not 100% the same. That's what I experienced. So you could also choose to have it like that. But if you want to have a slider with a slightly bigger concave, you should put the one with the most concave at the down part.
Because the other ones will adapt.
Yeah, a bit. So you will press it with this in the end, and then it will, it will slightly move a bit, the wood, but yeah.
You look like you're doing like a 3-card Monty card trick. And that's just typical wood glue, or?
Yeah, it's wood glue.
Okay.
Yeah, the classic one. Does not have to be very precise, because it will pop out on the sides anyway. Here, and with this little hole, I just put a lot of glue in it.
Oh, I see. Cool.
Now you can put the thingies
Clamp. I was waiting to see if you were going to say clamp or cloth.
You need a hand?
I think it will be. Now you can poke the clamps on the slide. Now I have to think about the shape so that it's properly.
So you're lining up the so that they're like
to make it
flush.
easier later. Maybe I should put some more on there.
So if it's not leaking over, then you think maybe it's not enough? Is that how you can tell?
Exactly, yeah. So now you have to dry it for, I don't know, maybe 24 hours. I kept them at least 24 hours to make safe that they are like good attached to each other and not getting detached. Okay, so we already prepared one pair of sliders. This is how it will look later. You can see that there's still some glue on it. It's a bit shiny, but that's not a problem. And I attached it very smoothly here, but here it's not that nice. So we have to sand it now to a good shape. I will do it with sander because it will take some time, and just with a hand you can also do it, but it will take a lot longer.
What kind of grit sandpaper do you have on that?
Oh, I don't know.
Crazy kids, they don't know what they're doing.
Okay, fine.
I think I would use like a pretty rough one, not like the very soft one. Yeah,
That says anything?
No, we have a lot of different papers. This is like very
this is
small,
fine.
and this is like the one that's very rough. I think for the beginning this is good, and then later you use this. That's how you usually do it, right?
So you're starting with the 80.
Yeah, 80. I'm starting with the 80, right? Okay. Just keep on until you have a nice smooth surface, which is not here at the moment, but...
And like this one, are you going to go all the way until these are even?
Yeah.
Oh wow, it's like, wow.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. That's why it's good to cut them pretty equal in the beginning and not to have like a very big difference in the shape at the beginning. Yeah. The next thing will be putting the slider on your hanger. Yeah. You will need some screws for that. I'll show you.
And a drill.
So you will need some screws. You will ask now, hey, how long should they be?
Wait, I'm interrupting you. Your shirt matches your drill. That's so. Okay.
Nice. Yeah. So I chose screws that would fit into the block like that, but not too much. If they would be like that, that would be too much. So somewhere in between here should be fine.
Do you want it to puncture the third one or only the first two?
Last time I only punctured these two, but I think in general it would be better to puncture all of them to make it more stable. Yeah. So using the washers depends on what screws and what hanger you have. Sometimes the holes are bigger, then you will need to use them. But here it's optional at the moment. So it would be looking like that.
I think for mine, if we don't need them, we shouldn't use them because there isn't a ton of space in between them.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think that's necessary because this fits perfect.
Good.
Yeah. Okay, at first you should draw where you want to have your screws. This should be in the middle, obviously, and the concave should be like that to attach it to the plate later. So use this, and I think last time I just screwed it in. So it didn't work to put the screws in by hand. That's why we pre-drill it now, and then
What's that right there?
no, something that didn't work. Trial and error, right?
Okay.
I think someone did a shitty job.
That was me that broke that.
Happens.
In a fantastic orgy of destruction never before seen.
Okay. I'm not sure how far in I should put.
We could do you could put some tape on the drill bit.
Warum nicht? Yeah, or I can
Or you
paint
can-
it with a
You can only do that once though. It's going to be on there forever.
How
Alright.
far? Was ist los?
For the record, I told you to use tape.
Yeah. On there and screw again. Is this where we had it? That's good. So this is the final result with the screws, the hanger on it, and the final slider.
So do we need to do something more with it now?
You can, I don't know, I did nothing more with it, but possibly you could put wax on it or something to make it more smooth or more stable against wind and weather. So, but I did do nothing with it. After I have been using these for half a year maybe, and they start to chip away a bit here. There's like a lot of wax from all the curbs and ledges on it. And yeah, but I'm pretty happy with them. They are still working pretty good, and I wouldn't want to have any other sliders.
Ooh, that's a good recommendation. Thank you, Jana.
You're welcome.
No reflecting surface. The radar waves wouldn't bounce off. They'd slide around. Truly a miracle of science.
Yes, baby Miller flip.
This film and all the information pertaining to it and the bird are classified as top secret.
You grab the skates and I'll grab the tools. Let's go rolling around